I feel like I'm doing it for the first time on every film because every film poses such unique challenges. Sometimes there'll be, a pun.
Hi all, it's Silesh Ram, AsianCultureVulture.com. We're here at the Cannes Film Festival edition 78 and I'm with the subtitler Jahan SIngh Bakshi. We're going to talk a little about subtitling the film. He subtitled Homebound, which is just screened here at the Cannes Film Festival. Jahan, welcome to Asian Culture Vulture.
Thank you so much.
How are you?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. It's so rare to be interviewed as a subtitler, and thank you for shining a spotlight on something that actually, I mean, when you do it, over the years, I realized just how, for international audiences, like how important it is. And as a avid film watcher myself, you realize how much you depend on the subtitles when you're watching,
Right.
foreign film. And yeah.
So you subtitled Homebound, which screened at the Uncertain Regard section. Tell us about the process and how you go about your work.
Right. Well, it's been an interesting process because Homebound in particular is a film with, I mean, so of course for some background, of course, I've known Neeraj since forever, and kind of and yeah, we kind of started our careers in film kind of together in back in 2010, and so yeah, it's been a long association, and I think yeah, I kind of understand where his vision comes from. So the most important thing is, of course, delivering that in English with all the constraints of subtitling. Um, but yeah, I think Homebound was particularly interesting because there's so many nuances in terms of, you know, um, yeah, what it talks about caste and, other social realities in India, which are, yeah, pretty alien to, like, say, a European audience. So I think the biggest challenge was to deliver that seamlessly and effectively, and yeah,
I mean,
and
you have
get it
to
across.
really know your job, your work, because me as an outsider, I wouldn't get that. I don't understand Hindi, and this is Hindustani, because of the shrub, the character Muslim. So, how do you navigate all that?
I mean, it's there's no one answer. I mean, every film is so different in a way. So I mean, I don't know how to answer that really. But yeah, but it's always so tricky. I mean,
Obviously, mixed with a lot of people from uh, different backgrounds who are very, Hindi speakers, don't speak English. It's real hardcore kind of. You really have to know that language, the lingua franca of it, or street language.
right. I think more than that, it's really about, I think, finding that essence and, like, in terms of what the film is really trying to say. And also, I think one of the biggest things I find difficult in subtitling is that, to move from, like, say, thinking in Hindi and then kind of transition to thinking in English, because it also needs to, yeah, be seamless in English and sounds, like spoken language in English. So while kind of, you know, keeping the sense of what they're saying also, so that it doesn't become too literal, so that it sounds natural in English, so that, yeah. So that's kind of tricky because the first instinct is to, like, retain as much as possible. But then there comes a point you have to start letting go of certain things also, just so that, yeah, because the last thing you want is subtitles to be distracting, while you're watching it. So
And how much contact do you have with the film team, the director? Do you
right.
talk to them about the language and the subtitling,
Absolutely.
certain words?
I mean, not always, to be honest, but on a film like Homebound, of course, yes, very, like, we work very, very closely on subtitles. There was also Francois, of course, who was a French subtitler, who had a lot of input in that. I think I consulted him a lot in terms of what he thought would, say, for a French audience, or like how they would see it, or what they would understand or not understand. And yeah, Francois was exceptional. Like, he's kind of, yeah, he's my go-to whenever I have, like, doubts. So
You interviewed him as well,
yeah,
and obviously he's an academic, so he comes from a.
oh, he's incredible, and he's incredibly kind, and yeah, I do lean a lot on him. Uh, yeah, when in doubt, go to Francois. It's my motto. So yeah,
And how? What's your own background? How did you come into subtitling?
it's pretty much been accidental, and that also actually leads back to Neeraj. Um, so yeah, I have a very mixed background. I started off as an assistant director with Neeraj. Soon enough, realized that I was no good at it. So So I came to Bombay thinking like, I want to make films, and then at least assisting wasn't really my cup of tea because it requires a lot of management and kind of dealing with people, and I think I work best in isolation. So so I kind of pivoted to digital marketing and marketing for films. Um, and after doing that for many years, I was kind of on a sabbatical, and at that point, so Neeraj, a lot of people know, but Neeraj actually subtitled a few films in the past. He's done Bombay Velvet and Urta Punjab. So that's something he was doing for a while, but then of course he chose to focus on his filmmaking career. So around that time, he had been asked to subtitle Sacred Games, which was of course Netflix's first big series in India, and he couldn't take it on, so he kind of passed that on to me. And I had of course known Vikram and Anurag for a while, so yeah, yeah. So I ended up getting that gig, and yeah, things just honestly just blew up from there because it was just such a high profile project, I guess. Word just spread, and thankfully the calls have still been coming. So yeah, that's actually how it happened. Because a lot of people actually ask me how to get into it and how to get in.
Question that was
Yeah,
question.
exactly.
How do you become a subtitler?
Yeah, and honestly, yeah, I don't really have a helpful answer for anybody because yeah, it was honestly just an accident for me. But yeah, it's such an interesting process, and especially for Indian films. Yeah, I mean, there's no songs right now in Homebound, but the songs are actually such a challenging and unique aspect of subtitling Indian films. So yeah, it's interesting, and honestly, like I feel like I'm doing it for the first time on every film because every film poses such unique challenges. Sometimes there'll be, a pun in Hindi which you simply can't, so then you have to change it. There was a film which had a tongue twister, and I was like, "Oh my god, what do I do?" I had to create a tongue twister in English to replace it. So it's really, yeah. Apart from translation, really over time you realize that it's almost a process of adaptation sometimes. So yeah, and also unlike plain translation, you're working within strict constraints in terms of character limits, in terms of like timing and all of that. So yeah, that's the key difference between just translating and subtitling, because you need to make sure it's readable. You need to make sure it like doesn't get in the way. Yeah, make sure it doesn't strain the eyes. So indeed, yeah.
What's your own background? Where did you grow up? And
Right.
you're still based in Mumbai, I understand.
Yes. Again, kind of a long form story. I was uh, I was born in Dehradun. I grew up in the tea estates. My dad was in tea. I mean, I used to manage tea estates in Assam. So I grew up in Assam. I went to boarding school pretty early when I was 8 to Mayo, which is in Ajmer. So I was there for 9 years. After that, I moved to Calcutta for college. And right after college, I just came to
You've
Bombay.
been exposed to a lot of Indian languages, in a way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
though I haven't retained
Yeah. Well, no, I think that helps
any.
because you can't really be confined to one particular way of speaking. You have to be able to
Right.
know all of them and have at least an working understanding of that. Thank you so much for your time. It was
Thank you. Thank you so
brilliant.
much.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
pleasure.
Thank you.
All right.
No, thank you. It was really interesting.